In this video, we talk about setting variables in Python. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into it. Now, if you don't know already, a variable is simply a memory location to store values. So we're going to go through a bunch of examples in this video so you'll know exactly what I mean when I say that. So let's go ahead and set our first variable. So let's do one called number. And to set a variable, you use one equals sign to set that variable. And so number equals to, we'll just say 16. So just like that, we've set the variable of number equal to the value of 16, and it is an integer. We're using just a number, i.e. integer. So if we go print number, you'll see that it prints out our number variable, which is 16. So just like that, we've stored number equals 16. Now you can also store strings as variables as well. So let's do string equals to, and this is a string. We'll go ahead and print it as well, string, run it. So we have our number being printed, 16, and then our next variable of string being printed, which is this is a string. So as you can see, you can store variables as numbers and as well as, or integers essentially, as well as strings, which is, a string of characters. You can also store lists as variables as well. So it could be like my underscore list. Now, speaking of variables and naming conventions, the proper way to use variables and name them is keep them all lowercase, and then between words use an underscore. So my underscore list is the right way to name a variable in Python. You're not using like camel case or anything like that where you're like capitalizing the first letter and doing things like that. It's all lowercase. Spaces are represented by underscore. So list, my list equals to, and then we can go ahead and set our list. Apples, oranges, grapes, and then we could print my list, and boom, just like that, we have our variable my list equals a list of fruits. Now you could also set multiple variables at the same time if you want to. So let's go with like name and age equals to, and we do Nathan and 34. Oops, 34. And then we could go ahead and print those out, name, age, run it. And we see Nathan 34. So just like that, we set multiple variables at the same time, name and age. And then finally, if you want to set multiple variables to the same value, you can do that as well. So let's say we got different variables. So we got Nathan, Mike, John, Tyler equals to 34. They're all 34 years old. And we got an error when we did it like that because it's expecting us to have an argument or an answer for all four variables. So we should have 34, 34, 34, 34. So it should look something like this is what Python is expecting us to have. Now that's kind of redundant to do something like that when they're all equal to 34, right? So if we want to set multiple variables to the same exact answer or the same exact amount, we can do that. To do that, you separate them with an equal sign instead of a comma. So then run it, and now I could go ahead and print like Nathan, John, and Mike, Tyler, doesn't matter. They're all 34, right? So it prints 4 34s out for us here. So as you can see, variables can be used to store different types of information, from integers to strings to lists to booleans to floats, etc. And you can also set multiple variables at the same time if you want to by following this type of pattern. And then you could also set multiple variables to the same amount by using the equal sign. So that's a quick overview of variables and how you can set them and how you can use them. And hopefully you understand this concept because you're going to use variables all over the place. They're all over the place in Python. And if you found this video helpful in any way, shape, or form, I appreciate any sorts of likes, comments, subscribes, anything like that. And I hope that you have a great rest of the day.